You slide out somewhere in the highlands of Central Asia and land on rocky ground. Your legs are already trying to find grip beneath you before your eyes are fully open. Your mother turns, sniffs you once, and takes a step back. You smell different. She knows it. Every other lamb in this flock knows exactly what it is. You do not. You push your front legs down and try to stand, but they are too long for the weight above them and your woolly body drops back to the ground. You try again. Your front end comes up first. Your back legs scramble underneath you until everything finally holds. It is the first thing you have done that neither a lamb nor a goat kid could have managed quite the same way. Two ewes walk over one at a time and lower their heads toward you. Each one pulls back and walks away. Your mother has already moved back toward the group. You follow on unsteady legs. But the flock starts moving before you reach them, spreading across the slope in a loose line, and the ground between you and them stays wide no matter how hard you push to close it. Then the slope rises ahead, broken by loose rock and narrow ledges, and the flock slows down as the lambs pick their way carefully around the stones. You do not slow down. Your legs find the edges without hesitating, stepping up and across in a way that feels completely natural. By the time you reach the top of the first ridge, you are ahead of all of them. Your mother is still somewhere below you. You are already higher than she has ever been. You are a few weeks old. The flock has started pushing you to the edges of everything. The ewes walk into your path. The lambs bunch together in a way that always leaves you on the outside. You stop trying to feed where they feed and move toward the rocky edges of the slope instead, where the grass runs out and the ground starts to break up into ledges and gaps. The plants up here are different. Stiff-stemmed shrubs with tough leaves that a sheep's mouth would struggle with. Your jaw is more like your father's, narrow and strong. You bite down and the stems give way. That is how you find out you can feed where they cannot. You start going higher each time, working your way up to ledges that sit well above the main slope. The flock stays below you, heads down across the wide open ground. You watch them from up on the rock with your front feet on a ledge and your back feet braced behind you. You are eating plants they have never touched in a spot none of them could reach. For the first time since you were born, no one is walking into your path. Then one morning you reach a ledge you have not been to before and there is already something standing on it. A wild goat. Bigger than you. Wide curved horns. For legs set wide apart on the rock, full weight holding the position, small eyes fixed directly on you. You need to eat. This is the ledge with the most growth. You do not turn back. You step forward and the goat lowers its head. You hold your position trying to wait it out. The goat takes one slow step forward. Then another. Your back hooves reach the edge of the ledge and your body tilts with your weight pulling toward the drop. Your back end drops and both rear legs are scrambling against the rock face with nothing solid under them. But your body is heavier and lower than a goat's, your woolly bulk sitting close to the rock. Your front hooves stay locked. You pull yourself back up before the goat can push again. All 4 feet back on the ledge. Wide plant. This time you do not move. The goat pushes its head forward once more. Your weight holds. After a while it pulls back, turns, and walks off along the ridge. You eat well that day. But the goats up here are older and bigger than you, and sooner or later one of them will not walk away. 6 months old now. The plants on the upper ledges have been stripped back so you have come lower. A fox moves along the bottom of the slope, body low, head forward, testing the outside of the flock. The sheep nearest to it scatter inward and the whole flock bunches up. You move with them at first but the press of bodies forces you out to the side and you end up on the outer edge with the fox now much closer to you than to any of the sheep. The fox stops and looks at you, trying to read whether you will run. You do not run. You lower your head and hold your position, front legs set wide, weight forward. The fox takes one step closer. You take one step toward it. That is enough. The fox turns and moves back along the slope. 2 years old now. You have grown into the slope in a way that nothing else up here has. You know every ledge, every path, every section of rock that holds weight and every section that does not. Then one afternoon the flock below starts scattering. A wolf comes along the base of the slope with its head low and its body pushing forward. It takes a lamb at the edge of the flock and then looks up and sees you standing alone on a wide ledge above the flat ground. You are separated. You are not moving. The wolf starts up the slope toward you. You turn and start climbing, your legs finding each step quickly, taking a line straight up the face that no sheep could follow. But the wolf is faster on the lower ground than you expected. It closes the gap before the rock gets steep enough to slow it down. The wolf lunges, front legs hitting the ledge just below yours, jaw snapping forward and catching the back edge of your rear leg. Your body tips sideways. You push hard off the rock face and pull your leg free before the jaw can lock properly. You go straight up from there, taking the steepest available line, hooves hitting each hold cleanly. After a few more meters the rock becomes near vertical and the wolf stops climbing. It stands below you for a while with its head raised. Then it turns and goes back down the slope. You made it this time by knowing the rock better than it did. 3 years old and fully grown now. Your body has filled out into something that does not quite match anything else on the slope, the wide heavy frame of a sheep and the long legs and curved horns of a goat. The male goats give you more space on the ledges than they used to. Even the ram at the front of the flock steps aside when you come down to the flat ground. Then the season changes. The male goats start crashing into each other on the upper ridges. The rams do the same on the flat ground. You feel the pull of it. You move toward the goat groups first because that side of you is stronger. But two male goats come at you together, heads low, bodies pushing forward in a line, forcing you back along the ridge until you run out of ground. You drop back down. You try the sheep flock from the side. The ram charges before you get close and hits you in the shoulder, knocking your front leg sideways. You stumble back. You end up standing in the open ground between both groups with neither of them behind you. That is when you see her. Another Geep. Picking her way down a ridge on the far side of the valley, her body moving in that same uneven way yours does. Not quite sheep. Not quite goat. She is the first one you have ever seen. You start moving toward her. But something else on that ridge is already moving down behind her. 4 years old now. The thing that came down behind the female Geep was a large male goat. For the past few weeks he has been following her across the upper slope and driving you away every time you get close. He is heavier than you and hits hard, charging before you can set your footing. Today you move toward her again from the lower side of the ridge. The goat charges down toward you with his full weight driving forward. The impact knocks you sideways and your front legs buckle, but you keep your footing and turn to face him before he can pull back. He charges again. This time instead of holding your ground you step to the side and let him go past you. His momentum carries him several steps further down the slope than he meant to go. You are now above him. You start moving up the ridge, drawing him higher onto the rock face where his heavier front end starts working against him. He follows trying to keep up, but the ledges get narrower and the footing gets less reliable the higher you go. One of his front hooves lands on a wet section of rock and goes out from under him. His whole front end drops, his body swings sideways, and he slides back several meters and hits a lower ledge hard. He gets back up but goes down the ridge and does not come back. You climb back to where the female is standing and stay close. For the first time you have ground you can call your own. 10 years old now. The slope is the same as it has always been. Your legs are not. The joints that once snapped into each foothold without any thought now take a moment longer to respond. On the steeper sections you have started picking wider lines you would have ignored completely a few years ago. You still cover the ground. You still reach the high ledges. But you have to think about it now in a way you never did before. One morning you set out along a ridge you have crossed more times than any other line on the mountain. A long flat section with a short drop on one side and a longer one on the other. Your hooves landing in the same spots they always have. You are about 2/3 of the way across when your front left hoof lands on a section of rock that looks the same as every other section but takes your weight differently. Your leg goes down further than it should. Your shoulder drops with it, pulling your body sideways toward the longer drop. You try to correct, pushing off your back legs, swinging your weight back to the right. But your back right leg is already at the ledge edge and the extra force tips it off. Two legs are now scrambling against the rock face with nothing solid under them. You push hard with your front right trying to drag yourself back onto the ledge. The angle is wrong. The rock gives your hooves nothing to push against. Then you go over. The fall is short. You land on a lower shelf with your legs folded beneath you and your body still. The female is somewhere above on the ridge. She does not come down. The mountain is the same as it has always been. By the following morning, the ravens are already circling. You were born between two worlds and belonged completely to neither. The sheep never accepted you. The goats never accepted you. You found the highest ledges, learned every hold on the rock face, made the fox back down, escaped the wolf, outlasted the goat who tried to keep you from her. You lived 10 years in a place that was not designed for what you were. You made it your own anyway. The ledges you knew are still there. The slope is still there. Something else will climb them now.